إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله، ثم أما بعد. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: أتدرون من المفلس؟ Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the companions a question: do you know who is the person who's really bankrupt? قالوا: المفلس من لا درهم له ولا متاع. He said, O Prophet of Allah, the bankrupt is the person who doesn't have any money or anything that has value, money. قال: المفلس من أمتي من يأتي بصلاة وصيام وزكاة. يأتي بصلاة صيام زكاة، وقد شتم هذا وقذف هذا وسفك دم هذا وأكل مال هذا وضرب هذا. He said the real muflis, the real bankrupt, is a person who comes, mashallah, prayer perfect, extra prayer there, fasting good, extra good, zakah, charity, good. So basically doing all the good things, the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he has an issue that relates mostly to the tongue and the limbs. شتم هذا, he cusses this and that. So a person who cusses all the time, doesn't have much good on his tongue, is just throwing words left and right at any time. And unfortunately nowadays it's the trend, the music that they enjoy is all cussing. And you have two problems: musical problem and cussing problem combined. Then to come and start debate, the argue of halal and haram. Look at the content and then you understand what's in there, or the poison that is in there. So cussing, قذف هذا, slandering, which is mashallah nowadays, it's like say assalamu alaikum. Anything you hear, constantly you go and you post it and you talk about it and you regurgitate it and you negotiate it and you accuse and subhanallah, you forget the rules of the Islam, you forget the brotherhood that you have, you forget that you're supposed to verify, you're supposed to have witnesses, you're supposed to protect, you're not supposed to spy, you're not supposed to feel good at the fall of your brother, and instead of picking him up, you push him further down in the hole. You forget all that. So قذف هذا, شتم هذا, أكل مال هذا. You have some عمي أكل مال هذا, borrow some money, you never pay it back. Deal with business, ripping one another. Anything relates to money, you're taking advantage. You're not distinguishing right from wrong, halal from haram, friend from enemy, family from strangers, dealing with the same, taking advantage of people's wealth. And the Prophet ﷺ told us before he passed away in Hajjatul Wada that your wealth or the wealth of your brother is haram for you. And when he judged between people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I may judge for someone simply because he is eloquent. He can convince. I'm a human being. When someone comes and convinces me and I judge for him, don't think that it is halal for you simply because I judged. Know that it is a piece from the hellfire. So a lot of people, they differ, they argue, then they take it to court, then the court rules for you, and you know you're not right. And you still take it, and when someone tells you, say, Habibi, the court already ruled for me. Here is the judgment. Judgment means nothing in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you know what you have is not halal or not pure for you. The day of judgment, you'll see. Prophet Muhammad said, it's a piece of fire I'm giving you. So you choose to take it or not take it. So this is one. وَسَفَكَ دَمَ هَذَا, he killed this and that. As you see nowadays, people are killing one another as if they're chicken or they're sheep or they have no value whatsoever. وَضَرَبَ هَذَا, at any point you push and you shove and you hit and you fight and you take advantage of other people because of your strength or because of your position, because of your power. Disregarding all of that. So the Prophet ﷺ counted the problems of the tongue and the problems of the limbs. This is exactly the same hadith that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, Al-Muslim man salima al-nasu min lisanihi wa yadihi. The true Muslim is the one that does not harm people with his tongue or his hand. Now what happened to this person? So he prays and he fasts and he gives charity and he is mashallah, mashallah. But he has the problem of the tongue, backbiting and slandering and cussing and cursing, at the same time taking advantage of other people's wealth and harming other people. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فيؤخذ من حسناته he's taken فيعطي هذا من حسناته وهذا من حسناته فإن فنيت حسناته أخذ من خطاياهم فطرحت عليه ثم يؤمر به ويطرح في النار. What happens now? Okay, day of judgment, everything is taken care of. You think you made it to Jannah, you passed the Sirat, boom, there is a place called Al-Qantara. There you have to pay the dues of people. Not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already taken care of that. People. You come with those people lined up for you. How much I owe you? Okay, take from his good deed and give it to make up for the cuss word that I did, or the push that I gave him, or the money, the dollar that I took from him. So you give that person. Okay, next. You give that person. Okay, next. And you keep going on. You ran out. فَإِنْ فَنِيَتْ حَسَنَاتُ أُخِذَ مِنْ خَطَايَاهُم. Then, okay, giving you a hasana or taking your evil deed is the same thing. I don't have anything good to give you. I'll take from your bad deeds. And then I'll start loading myself up with bad deeds. Then they will be commanded to take me and to throw me in hellfire. Imagine you have in a different hadith, Prophet ﷺ told us that you would come with mountains of good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it haba'an manthura. It will be weightless. And this one here, you come with mountains and it will be depleted. Not only depleted, but also you have more. We know hellfire is not just simple hellfire. You can be in medium punishment, in high punishment, in low punishment. So the more sins you have, the more punishment you have. So you would have load of those things simply because you don't watch your tongue, and you don't take care of your body limbs and control it. So don't ever look at yourself as I pray and I fast and I'm so good and I'm fulfilling and I'm close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're 24 hours using your tongue and you have no idea what you are speaking or what you are saying. Everything is recorded. ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. Every word that comes out of your mouth, it's recorded and you will be accounted for it. That is very scary for everyone to just talk and talk and talk and not counting the talk, yet you count your prayers and you count your Mondays and Thursdays and you count the donation that you have given and you think, astaghfirullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala owes you something. And then when it comes to the reality, if you look at your record from your tongue, you don't have anything. You are owing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And people, my advice to myself and you, watch your tongue and watch your body limbs and make sure that you never think that you've done so much or you are such a wonderful person. Don't talk about people. Don't talk about people's problems. Let Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deal with people. Nowadays, you see a person, it's like some people are specialized to follow people on their Facebook or on their YouTube or whatever. He followed this and he followed that, and look who he is and look who she is, as if they have nothing in their life but to check and follow the privates of other people and check their things, and it's like they're going to solve the problem. All they're doing is they're finding faults and little problems with famous people, with good people, with righteous people. They have their reasons, they have their knowledge, they have their whys and all of that. You come and you understand it the way you want to understand it. You cut and paste the way you want to do it, and you pass it on as if you're doing the whole world a favor by defaming knowledgeable people or defaming famous people or taking advantage of weak people. And you call yourself a good Muslim and a good believer. ما يلفظ من قول. This is not just the tongue, and whatever you write, it's going to be accounted, and whatever you post is going to be accounted. Your intention is accounted. My advice is fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, mind your own business, give an advice, and if people don't take the advice, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala solve the problem for you. He said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا عَلَيْكُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ مَنْ ضَلَّ إِذَا اهْتَدَيْتُمْ. Oh people, worry about yourself. Those misguided people are not going to harm you if you are guided. So advice, if they don't take it, then worry about yourself and leave him alone or leave her alone, and stop going after awrat in nas, after the things that people don't like for you to know or to see. Even in Islam, when you know there is something going on wrong, haram, in somebody's own home or somebody's safe place or private place, you are not supposed to go and enjoin good and forbid evil as long as they're not publicized. And you have another issue too. You have people publicizing. You do the sin and then you go post it. Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, everybody, kullu ummati mu'afa illa al-mujahirun. Everyone has hope and forgiveness except those who publicize. You do the sin and you publicize it and you tell me to not judge you. For how? What a joke. What a joke. How people think nowadays. And aren't you worried? You're challenging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you are inciting other people to do the sin. And you are publicizing as if you're proud of what you are doing. Subhanallah, the person does the bad deed and he hides and he shies and he doesn't want anyone to know. Nowadays it's like, oh, what am I doing? This is my life. I can do whatever. Don't judge me. The whole conversation nowadays is judging and not judging. As if where this epidemic came from, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judges. But when I see you doing a devilish deed, this is not judgment, you are devil. When you post it, there's no need for judgment. You are telling me who you are. What judgment is there? Judgment is when I don't know. But when I see it, and you are proud of it, I don't need to judge. You're telling me who you are. So when someone drinks alcohol and holds it, and it is alcohol 100%, I'm drinking, don't judge me. Someone, like somebody taking the hijab off. Okay, take the hijab off, it's your life. Nobody's gonna come and force you to wear the hijab. But when you get on there and you say, don't judge me, and I have my, okay, you have your right, but leave it. Leave it between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't challenge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't encourage other people to do the sin. If I teach you something good, you get hasanat every time I do it. And if I teach you something bad, you do get the sayyat all the time you do it. So all of those things nowadays, astaghfirullah, time has no value. 24/7 you are on the phone. 24/7, the most important, most valuable time. If you ask any person, do such and such, wallahi, I don't have time. Wallahi, you're not telling the truth. You have plenty of time, you're just wasting your time. You're following people and looking at people and following posts and reading all of that so you can find something wrong in someone else, so you come and flourish over the community or over with your friends over somebody else's private life. And you tell me you have no life? You know time, you actually have time, but you don't have a real life. If you have a real life, you work for that real life, which is the hereafter, which means you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you do what you are supposed to do. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us guard our tongue, mind our own business, and stay away from harming people. Don't ever be deceived with what you do. Always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you and to guard you. A major dua that the Prophet ﷺ used to make, Allahumma astur awrati wa amin rawati. Oh Allah, protect my shortcomings and my private affairs and keep me safe from worry and fear. Because you follow people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will follow you and expose you to people, and I don't think you would like that. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
You said the person who has slandered, did this and did that in dunya, but he has also hasana. If my business, my means of income is haram, that means my salah is haram, my zakat is haram, my ibadah is haram, my charity is haram, my hajj is haram, my wearing clothes is haram, everything is haram. If my means of income is haram, that means I have no hasana.
Not necessarily.
Why?
Because let me see.
Once you have, I try to follow